Hi, Libra Anarchy addressing Jesus Freak 777. I am responding to Policeman drops the F-bomb. Um, First, were I to meet the president, you do not want to hear the language I would use. It would curl your hair. Having said that, before I actually address the topic of the F-bomb, I would like to address the topic of the police. Oh no. But quickly, I just would like to say, the officer in question in his training was taught to have his attitude. He's taught to mistrust the public and treat everyone as suspects. And frankly, many of the people who want to bully people do become cops, and believe me, I've talked to spindly, nerdy kids. I mean, heck, I was a nerd too, but they're like, well, a couple of them were like, I want to be a cop so I can bully people. I want to boss people around. So here you have a police officer serving the political class, and because he has police on his shirt, people within the culture are not addressing him to enforce this particular cultural value, i.e., not dropping the F-bomb around kids. Why? Because he has police across the shirt, and they're afraid that they're going to get arrested for resisting arrest or for something or some other BS charge that, of course, they would not actually end up having to pay a fine and so forth, but still, they would be really inconvenienced, wouldn't they? So that's why a lot of people weren't doing anything, and even though I disagree with you on probably everything, I do actually admire you for actually approaching the police officer and, doing it in a polite way and actually saying, please don't cuss, there could be children, or there are children around here, etc. Even though I don't necessarily agree with the cultural value, I do admire you for actually approaching this police officer. And since he was around his coworkers, that's probably why he actually apologized. Okay, as to the F word, I have no trouble with it. It's a word that involves the human body, and so a culture that is rooted in a belief system, I think, is completely crazy. And I usually don't like words like stupid and crazy for arguing, but I think Christianity is a pretty crazy belief system myself. There's no nice way of putting it, which discourages pleasure for its own sake, particularly sex, even if done safely, and even if it's done in a way that isn't, actual penetration and actually experimenting, exploring, doing other things. My point is, at some point people thought, oh, this word means sex, therefore it's bad because the human body and sex is bad according to our particular system of mysticism. And I don't see any logic behind it. The way to make the word not bad is to keep saying it, honestly, and not even to say it with an attitude. But I don't think it can be done in an artificial way, like Blast. I don't know if he's Mystery Nigger or Super Nigger or Mr. Nigger or whatever his account name is now. He has this whole campaign. He's trying to, quote, nigger the word nigger. I'm not going to say you should fuck with the word fuck or something like that and have some sort of campaign, but the forbidden fruit principle says that people are attracted most to what is forbidden. So if you keep the word forbidden, kids will want to say it. And as other people have said, kids catch on. If you say F-bomb, F-word, if it's bleeped out, kids are going to know what you mean. And if you treat it as some sort of, unspeakable, sacrosanct word, ooh, it's suddenly alluring. So, and it's like, oh, I'm going to be rebellious, so I'm just going to say it over and over. Now, my approach to the word is, if I'm going to actually speak with you, I'm not going to say the word out of the context of, say, talking about the word. Same with the infamous N-word. I mean, I know that my subscribers are smart enough to see the context here, but I'm not just going to go and say the word outside of context, because people will give the word power and over themselves, and they will get offended, and whatever I'm saying will fall by the wayside, and people will just focus on the word. Likewise, if I'm speaking to you and I say something like, I don't see any evidence for the existence of hell, and if I'm saying a bunch of words you don't like, then what you're going to do is disregard my argument and pay attention to the words that you don't happen to like. So now if I had a child and somebody was cussing, my approach would be not to say, oh, this is a good thing, but my approach would be to say, well, this person isn't going to get very far in the world, because practically speaking, we live in a culture that doesn't like the words. Likewise, if somebody just started turning circles saying coffee, 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 my approach would be, well, they're not going to get very far in this world. Our culture doesn't look highly on people turning circles saying coffee, 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 coffee. So I take into account who I'm talking to and what the possible effect of what I'm going to say is going to be. I made a video recently addressing trolls. Now, if I were to get angry, all as they would do is troll me more. And I recently made a video saying, oh, just so people know, this is how you block people, this is how you remove people. And if I got all up in arms over people saying stupid things, they would say more stupid things to me. So I think of it as a matter of, I don't agree with a lot of the things that our culture holds near and dear, or our culture holds as profane. I think a lot of that stuff is stupid. But I also recognize that I live in this culture, and so I recognize the likely consequences for what I'm going to say. Incidentally, the Queen, the President, these people aren't special. These people are merely members of a privileged political class. Put them in a situation where they have to have a real job. Take them out of the mystical positions that they are in and see how they do. Just saying. Okay. So the rest of this is just filler, and hope everyone has a good day, because like I said, this is filler. And Ia Cthulhu Fatagan, again, filler. By the way, listen to that. If people haven't heard the Blog Talk Radio show, you should listen to that. It was really awesome. Avenger was awesome. But I'll link to Jesus Freak's video down here.